Go. Drop an ice cream cone in the chat. Ice cream cones in the chat. Blue chews, let's rip another pack. Adult School Marco podcast, the trillest, realest school in America and today. God love me, I don't care who won't. Y'all see the description. I'm about to pop it, man. We about to pop it. Podcast, pop it, Papi. Positive Papi, about to pop it tonight. You feel me? Y'all do y'all homework on what these is, boy. I'm trying to tell you. Gangs, the strong way, not the wrong way, you dig? Yeah. Get your sit, get you right. But look, check this out. We're gonna get into a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into a couple of things tonight because the spirit is moving, so I'm gonna address a few things. Getting to speaking a little bit through this, busting this out throughout the upcoming weeks. I'm gonna do a live stream for SummerSlam August 2nd and 3rd, but I'm also in August gonna be talking about this and this. Y'all will get more familiar with that this year. Shout out Fultz Ministries. Gonna get into this later on next month. Workbook guide to journey to freedom, the role of personal testimony and healing. Yo, drop an ice cream cone in the chat. We got somebody watching on YouTube and Facebook streaming right now. First of all, shout out to Liliana Dinwoody. I just woke up a little bit ago, and I watch her videos every upload when she posts. Liliana Dinwoody, content creator, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. She's just amazing. I don't want to come off. Somebody said in one of her posts, somebody called me a simp. So I don't want to come off simping, but I'm giving the credit where it's due. Y'all know I'm not simping. Y'all know I'm ChiefMalottoPapi. Come on, y'all know. If you know, you know. But look, everybody that's following me or subscribing to me, go over, pull up on Liliana Dinwoody. She is a phenomenal energy, an incredible, beautiful soul person with a lot of wisdom, full of God. It's funny how the internet can bring certain people into your life that, you know, would never be in your life without the internet, you know, different social media platforms and stuff. Within these last couple months and years, I've met great people online that I've never actually seen, but they've been there for me on a daily basis. Man, Too Funny, I Am KO God, Cass Smith, K3, another YouTube streamer who he taking off right now. Big shout out to K3. He showed me some love today too on YouTube. Blizz D. Yeah, I Am KO God. Like, some of these people that I've never seen physically yet, just like Liliana Dinwoody, have been so kind enough to take time out of their life to address me, to converse with me, to lift me up. And I just want to give thanks, glory to God, because we all have our own battles, and you know, each battle has its own testimony. And testimony is something that's very powerful and very dear and close to heart to Fultz Ministries. Is testimony. Um, Taking time out to get into Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, and just all throughout the Bible. But lately, I've been really drawn to Proverbs, and Proverbs discusses great principles and great teachings, a lot of wisdom. It's a phrase that say, you know, if you knew better, you'd do better, but that's not all entirely true. Some of us are kind of conditioned and programmed to kind of do the wrong things, or we fall too comfortable with doing, you know, things of the flesh and temptation and all that stuff. Hi, bro. Scarface Ninja 13, what's up, bro? How you doing today, man? Ice cream cones in the chat. If you got emoji, drop an ice cream cone, man. Scarface Ninja 13, what up, bro? Adult School Marco podcast, the trillest, realest school in America. And today, a lot of shorties be coming up on my platform, you know, and Marco love the kids. You know, I'm a father myself, ChiefMalottoPapi. So, you know, this podcast platform is a friendly space for all ages, elders, in between, all that. So, I got a homie that's in Florida. His handle is United States of America. And he be on my lives a lot and showing love and commenting. He in 7th grade. He 13 years old. I remember 7th grade was my favorite grade. Got my boy Joey Spurlock in the building on Facebook. What's up, Joey? My OG engineer, man. Drop an ice cream cone in the chat, man. How you doing, brother? How you doing tonight? I'm going live with some testimony, man. About to open up some gifts. About to get into some 2K. I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook right now, but just speaking on a couple things. Shout out to my man Joey Spurlock, man. That's one of my close friends. That's my first engineer. Like, I really just, man, if you know me and you know what I was doing in 2010, 2011, 12, 13, man, Joey is somebody that he was just important to my life always. And at that time, he was the person that believed in me. He showed me how to believe in myself. We both share a genuine love for music, man. So I see he's watching, man. So shout out to you, bro. Fultz Ministries. My dad is an ordained minister. He's a former captain at the prison, Pontiac prison. He's just a blessing. This year I've had the opportunity to to connect closer with him, and just really learn a lot from him. He just turned 75. I'll be 35 in a couple months, and I'll learn a lot from him on a day-to-day basis, and just the importance of how important God is too. It's not just about the titles that people have. It's the ingredients in the gumbo. Like, I remember at a young age and watching my dad, and at the time how he was and when I was, and it's just beautiful to see somebody's growth and their testimony, where they're at and how far and how much God is really important to each and every one of us. And there's a discipline to it that comes along in that path after going through so much. Your faith can develop consistencies that can be rewarding. My dad talks about how much he loves God, and he shows it. And we live in a society where a lot of people don't want to speak about God, or people, they just don't give God enough glory outwardly. It's like they're ashamed. And I want to break a lot of those barriers today and just in the future, because God is so good, man. And I'm about to open up some gifts. I'm gonna finish gushing up on Liliana Dinwiddie though, because I posted some screenshots, and I post her videos all the time. But this woman, from what I know, and I came across her YouTube probably like a month or two ago. This woman lives in the Utah area, and she's got a big following on social media, but like on YouTube, she's growing it. But I just got so much love and respect for her, and her content and what she talks about, and real recognize real. So like, if you wanna, if you're feeling down, or if you're feeling up, or whatever you're feeling like, go check out Liliana Dinwiddie. I tagged her on Facebook, and I on YouTube I tagged her too. You know what I mean? And check out my YouTube descriptions if you want to hit up one of the links. Feel free to hit me with a blessing, CASHAPP, PayPal, all that. And any one of these content creators, like, feel free to reach out. Like, that's like from anybody. Like, you don't have to be a fan or a supporter. That's like literally like, hey, if we obviously God got everybody in position to already have finances, so we're not begging for nobody. But it's about, if you feel it in your spirit and you want to give or contribute, do that. But now we're at people like me, Liliana, people that are in the content creation field. I am KO God, this and that. God has us in position to bless other people, so there's gonna be that door for us to receive blessings. Liliana, man, she's gorgeous. And I could also see, like, inside, like, it's just so pure. It's not like, it's not rehearsed, it's not forced, it's just a flow. Positivity. I just want to pray over that woman. God, thank you for Liliana Dinwiddie, for putting her in my life, and everybody's life that she is blessing and getting through right now. Dear God, I lift you up. I thank you. I pray over protection over Liliana's mind, her children, her life, her loved ones. I pray that you keep her and we're right where you need her to be, Lord, and keep us all right where you need us to be in our own respective journeys, God. In Jesus' name, amen. So, last thing about gushing about Liliana, and then I'm gonna stop, because as a man, our culture is just, it's like, so like, it's like, oh, we can't give somebody a compliment because then we're weird, or we're trolling, or we're sus, or we're all these words, which society is just wrong and they're hurting. So that's another thing. Don't let somebody tell you about you if you know it's not true. You know, devil does a lot with manipulation and mind control and playing with knowledge. So don't fall for them tricks. I felt I felt motivated to come on here and stream tonight, and not really so much that I wanted to play the video game, but like streaming is something that I like and I'm good at. But you know, and obviously y'all see my analytics, they're not high numbers, but that's a great thing too, because I also value my privacy, and I also have been through phases where I've gotten a lot of attention and, you know, this and that, and, you know, not everything that glitters is gold. So um, this is gonna get out to who it needs to get out to, who wants it, and that's what's up. But I came on here, I'm coming on here tonight to just shed some light on Liliana. I posted some screenshots of our conversation, and just her taking the time out and replying, you know, like, she doesn't have to do that. Nobody has to do that. Nobody has to give me any energy or time, but I appreciate everybody who does. We're all going through something. We're all hurting from something, somebody, this and that. So pain shared is pain lessened. You know, I could get on here and I could speak about my mother, and I could speak about how much I miss my daughter, but at the same time, God is in everything. God's allowed me to speak to my daughter like 3 times this week. I just went 2 weeks without seeing her and hearing her from her, and going through like a whole spiral in that, which that's another thing, is like sometimes it's like we have to give ourselves more grace. You know, we get caught up in our feelings and our emotions, and we beat ourselves up so much, and like sometimes we just need to allow somebody to reach out and pull and help. You know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in our pride and our negativity that we're just doomed, and we're just, oh fuck, you know, and that's not a God. God don't want us to suffer. So be easier on yourself, reward yourself, be gentle to yourself, love yourself, you know. Like, my mom is going through a lot, and I miss her right now. And, you know, emotions happen. Emotions lean on their own understanding, you know. She's upset at me, or I'm upset at her, or whatever the case is. But I love you, Mom. If you're watching this, you know I always love you. And whatever we're going through, you're going through, God's got it. You know, I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. That's another thing that, like, I'm getting better at too, is like understanding God's love. Like, I don't deserve to be angry at anybody, you know, because if the shoe was on the other foot, just think about how many times people been mad at me, and what I've done to deserve that. Or, you know, was God ever mad at me? But how much did God look out for me? You know, even like when I feel like I didn't deserve it. Love is the most powerful thing that there is. It's the strongest weapon, you know. Like, can I see your team, Scarface Ninja? Yeah, I'm finna get into that here in a couple minutes. Yeah, look, yeah, I'm gonna get into that in a couple minutes. I'll show you right quick though. But Liliana, I hope that we meet, and I'm not just saying that. I'm a content creator. I love to travel. I'm a full-time employee, but God's getting ready to elevate me soon. He's gonna get me traveling. He's gonna put me in different positions in different rooms. And Liliana, just like Man Too Funny, just like I Am KO God, Cass Smith, you know, some of these people that I haven't met in person yet. It's in God's will for us to cross paths and to meet. So, you know, I want to take the time out to address Liliana. She said she was going to shout me out on her next live, and I wanted to beat her to the punch. But I'm gonna shout her out again. I'm gonna keep. I've been talking about her. Some of my last streams, a couple of them, and I share. I've built my YouTube to almost like, it's almost like a network. It's like NBC or ABC or like, you know, something like that, to where it's like I'm contacting it did so good, it's better than mine. I've spent too much money on 2K. I kind of don't even want to buy 2K26 because I've spent so much money. I need to buy a car and a house and all that. But shout out to you though. Thanks. Yeah, it is a good team, you know. But no, like, just again, thank you, Liliana. Like, I love you. I'm in love with you. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. And I'm of the mindset, like, I want to be very specific, you know. I don't like to be misconstrued, and I don't want to lead somebody on. I don't want to, you know, kind of like be a player and try to just be a smooth talker. I'm a lot of things, but I'm whatever God called me to be, whatever I need to be, you know. I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not. Like, recently I've just been better. Like, recently, these last couple months, I've just elevated. I've been sober for the first time in my life since I started getting into drugs and alcohol at like age 18. I have the longest stretch of sobriety now I've ever had in my life. The second closest was when I was in the military. But I've been sober since GG Kobe, since February 2nd month to 2024 Kobe Bryant. So, you know, long live the GOAT. That's my boy. I had a basketball signed by Kobe when I was a child, and I don't have that basketball anymore, but somebody told me it was signed by Kobe, and even if it wasn't, like, there was a signature on it. So, you know, just as a child, you can imagine how, you know, our childhood heroes, you know, it's just figures can be important to us. And it's not about being a celebrity or status. I know that's appealing, but it's just, it doesn't have to be that. It's just like, it's love. And just like, you know, like with God, like when you grow a relationship with God and you love God, when it's real love, nothing stronger than that. Like, you will do anything for God, you know. A lot of people use that word love so loosely because it's just so, you know, common in word, and just, you know, oh yeah, I love you and other. But like, it's levels to this. Just like it's levels in education. Like, you love, I don't want that preschool love, you know. I want that 12th grade graduate college degree love, you know. They're just like in school, there's elementary, there's, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, graduate, you know. So love God, you know, and love who he has and planned for you, you know, because you're in a season. Things happen in seasons. When you have a seed, right, you're not going to plant a seed and to no, and you know, the next day grow a whole tree, you know what I'm saying. It's got to be seasons, and you got to do things to that seed, for it to grow. And that's like with us, like, you know, it's easy to stunt our own growth. But you have to decide if you want to grow. You have to decide if you've had enough, you know, if you've had enough of this pain, if you know, if you love God or if you love the devil, like, you know, if you love positive or you love negativity. You got to do, ultimately, you got free will. So you gonna do what you gonna do, but the doing gets done. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we're on borrowed time. Time isn't promised to nobody, so we really got to lock in right now. You know, it's 2025. We got to lock in. I'm a '90s baby, so you know it's I'm a unk, you know. I'm playing on PlayStation 4 Pro, but like in the '90s, I came up where like consoles were just coming out, dude. Like Atari, Nintendo Game Boy, Nintendo Game Boy Color, PlayStation, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, like Sega Genesis, PlayStation 2, N64, GameCube, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox X, Nintendo, Switch, like all of these. But like look at the generations of gaming and how far gaming's come in the last 20, 30 years, and you know where people say it's going, but look at us, right? Like we were young, we were in, you know, we were just little kids. Then you know we got into school. Then we went through so many years of school. Then school was over with, and then you know most of us either continued school or we got jobs or whatever. But like life keeps going. We have to keep evolving, and man, like we have to really start finding out like what is it that God wants from us, what he needs from us, not just like what we want to do. Everything that glitters isn't gold. Like we have to really know what we're called for. We have to be in our season, and we have to develop that relationship with God. And there's a lot of ways that you can get in touch with God. You know, you got the Bible, you got YouTube, you got the internet, you got Bible app, you got churches. God is within us. I know that there's different beliefs. I know there's different religions. I know there's different cultures. I know there's different, all of that. So I'm not here to tell you what you have to do, or I'm not here to do any of that. I'm here because God put me here in front of you right now. Whoever's watching, you know, God gave me a platform. And part of my ministry is about testimony, and it's about healing. It's about being transparent. It's not about likes, shares, clout, fame. It's not about none of that. It's not about, oh, he's dressed nice today, he's feeling good, he's gonna do. I'm a regular human being. I bleed the same way you do. God loves me how he loves you. The same. It's not like a contest. But there's levels. Adult School Marco podcast, the trillest realest school in America. And today, I'm just, you know, I be calling a spade a spade. Sometimes I get ridiculed for it. But that's okay. I mean, you know, they put Jesus on a cross and he bled out. You know, you people. Sometimes people got the story of Jesus messed up. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need to get in tune for yourself. Jesus wasn't Santa Claus, you know, and it ain't no Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, true honesty. Like, do we want the truth or do we want a lie? You know, do we want a win or do we want a loss? What does God want for you? Who has God called you out to be? What gifts do you have, and how can you work on those gifts to and ultimately glorify God? Because what are we doing if we're not glorifying God? What are we doing? We're glorifying the devil, right? Or if it's not right, it's wrong, right? So I mean, I get it, because I came up in the church too, and I've been through so much life, and I've had my moments where my faith was super strong and it was weak and all that. Like I said, I'm human, but I'm not human. I'm a vessel, I'm a spirit, I'm a being, I'm a light, but I'm something more. I'm not, like, I tap into something different. I'm different. I'm a Super Saiyan. I'm a warrior. The name of Marcus, the definition of Marcus means warrior, and I am that. And I don't have to be violent to tell you I'm a warrior. I display I'm a warrior because I'm where I'm at in my life. All the battles that I've had internally, externally. There's so much that it could be published, and I could have a lot of financial gain from it, but that doesn't even need to happen. That's not going. I'm learning to manage things better, and I'm learning to manage things better, and that's just as important, if not more important. Gotta learn to manage things. Alright. We got a new controller, which is key because one of my other controllers has stick drift, and the other one, the X button is jammed. So I ordered 2 new controllers, so that's cool. I'm just gonna put this over here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 packages that came in, and I don't want to open them all up right now. I don't need to. But just keep loving. Don't give up. No matter what the situation looks like, don't give up. Let go and let God. Uh, it's not over. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how bad it looks. As long as you got breath, it ain't over. I know people that have died. I know people that are still grieving the loss of their loved ones. And death is something that nobody wants to talk about, but we have to deal with it whenever it comes. And people deal with things differently, so just get closer to God, and I don't think that there's a max level of that. You can always seek Him, you seek Him, you'll find Him. I could be out in prison right now. I could be out selling drugs. I could be out committing crimes. But look, I'm right now I'm blessed. I'm employed, and I'm on a webcam. I'm on a camera, and that's something that I've always liked to do, and something I've always wanted to do. And even just having a voice, but it's I'm letting God come through, And I'm trying to tell you that, like, God is in you too. Awaken the God within. Shout out I Am KO God. Go get his book. I'll be reading it on stream a lot. I'm gonna continue to read it. And that's one of my close friends out in Texas, you know what I'm saying? The legendary street boxer, the legend. And I admire his discipline. I admire his story. That's a real warrior right there. And how strong of a person it is to put yourself out there so much. It takes a lot, man. Especially in the world that we live in, where people just judge everything and critique everything. So shout out to I am KO, man. Salute, KO God. Shout out to Liliana Dinwoody, for real. Like, oh my goodness. I could sit up here and take this whole gushing thing to a different level and all that, but I ain't gonna do that right now. But I love you. You're beautiful, and what you do for me and other people is extraordinary. Please don't stop. Thank you for the love and the support. You know, she's commented a bunch of times on my YouTube and lifted me up, and just at the right times too. And that's just so God sent. Some of these, just like me, you know, I just, I'm, you know, we pull up. God's people, we pull up. It might not be on your time, but it ain't too late. You know what I'm saying? It's right on time. So shout out to everybody that took the time out to watch this, and share the algorithm, clip this, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna be creating a new additional Facebook page and a additional YouTube page specifically dedicated to clips on my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel in 2021. No promotion or nothing like that, just all organic and just consistency and just growth, mouth to mouth, just promoting. And eventually I'm gonna get into a different stratosphere of that and press up some business cards, and we might look at some digital marketing or whatever. But like, I'm not carried away with it. And then I've been through so much at this point. Like, I've been signed to a record label. I've been a recording artist since 2004. Like, been a recording artist from the CD era to pressing up CDs to going to venues, to having my own concert, to hitting open mics, music videos, all this and that. And it's just that's a gift from God too. It's not like, it's not like it's super easy or anybody can do it, because it's not like that. So I just wanted to take the time to give God the praise, my platform, because none of this would be possible without God. Nothing is possible without God. It's not too late to ask for forgiveness. It's not too late to be forgiven. It's not too late to start loving. It's not too late to quit hating. Because you got to look at the things that aren't helping you, and you got to get away from that. You got to stop. Some of us are in love with certain outdated ideas, or some of us, don't want to let go of things or whatever, or some of us just are coping in a bad way. Put that alcohol down. Put them cigarettes down. Put that weed down, man. Put them guns down. Be what God called you to be. A testimony, a blessing, a story. I was a story, now I'm a storyteller. You know what I mean? And the book ain't even over with. Writing new chapters every day. I got a loved one that's incarcerated right now, and she'll be out, and when she get out, it's like, we both gotta, it's a new life for both of us. But again, like, we don't belong to anybody but God. So, and even in our relationships, like, it's important to keep God first and let God be the center of a relationship, because when it's not, you'll see how toxic things happen, and you see how people fall in and out of love, when a lot of love is really masked as like lust or opportunity or whatever. But God is love. And that's it. That's all. I'm going to get up out of here, man. Salute. Adult School Marco Podcast, the realest school in America. And today, ice cream cones in the chat. Blue Chews, let's rip another pack. Y'all be smooth, man. The realest school in America, man. I'll stamp that. Shout out Liliana Dinwoody. Shout out I Am KO God. Shout out Joey Spurlock. Shout out Blizz D, Blizz Wolf, TCW Wrestling. Shout out Jake Sevens Evans. Shout out SMB Shane Bryan. Shout out KDI. Shout out Slim Dunk. Shout out Avo. Shout out Drizzy. Shout out Quay. Shout out Coach Ritter, Coach Young, Coach Pete, Coach Ingram. Shout out Phil Ellis, Patty Ellis. Shout out my dog Matt. There's so many, you know what I'm saying, people that just come to my mind that have been there for me and with me throughout certain chapters of my life, that is just like God was in y'all, all of y'all, in so many moments that maybe you didn't know he was in. How important of a role you played, but it was important. Everything leads up to right now. Some celebrities passing recently. Rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Theo Huxtable passed away. They say he drowned, and it's crazy because he had posted a few recent videos before he passed, and it just looked like he was just giving God glory, and he was just so grateful and happy. And it's so sad, you know, to find out he drowned, he died. But it was so beautiful to watch how much he was lifting up God. So we just got to be real careful with our time, because only God knows when it's time, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. I mean, you know, me being a wrestler fan that I am, obviously, anytime we lose a wrestler from the wrestling community, it stings, it hurts, because no matter how old you were at the time, you got memories with that wrestler, if you know anything about it, or you know. And you know, Hulk Hogan, obviously, you know, legend, rest in peace. He was 71. Controversial, iconic figure. Rest in peace, man. Condolences to his family. So yeah, man. Just pray up tonight when you get through watching this video. Just give God the glory, you know, and reprioritize things. Check yourself, checks and balances, you know what I'm saying? Figure out what you can do better and how you could be better, and you know, let the rest fall where it fall, but don't obsess over things that aren't worth your time. Figure out what is worth your time and use it wisely. Alright, class dismissed. Adult School Marco podcast, the trillest, realest school in America. And today,